Welcome to Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Wrap-up show from Toronto. Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley putting it all together on a night inside the Rogers Center where the fans were going crazy, Jim, and they were bringing back a little bit of history. I saw one of your jerseys up there. This seems to be a growing event.
It is. I mean, the fans here were great in Toronto. I mean, I remember when we first started coming here, the fans would come out, but I just think that, the Feld Motorsports group have done a great job. And I'm talking about Friday night with the Monster Party here in the Monster Stage and everybody getting a chance to walk the track. I think it's pretty cool.
Fans here that have been watching the series got exactly what they've been seeing. We'll start with the 450s, and it was Ryan Villopoto once again, 7 wins on the year and 4 in a row. He's on a hot streak.
Yeah, and it was a mental race for him. I talked to him earlier. He collects $1,500 for the whole shot, put himself in a good position because off the line he was right next to Stewart. So he had that. His main thing right now is to get ahead of James. He did that, went in, tucked it into. But on the outside, Millsaps and TT Motorsports, Chad Reed, swoop around him. They're 1 and 2, and he didn't panic. He didn't go, okay, I got to go out and get him. Even though he knew that Dungey was behind him,
right,
and all these other guys, Stewart was behind Dungey. He didn't panic. He just kind of played it cool, got around Chad. Davey had kind of checked out a little bit, reeled him in at one point, a couple of laps, putting it to the inside of him, not touching him because Davey's a big guy. You can't move Davey out of the way. But, it was just a good mental win for him. It could have, and I asked him on the points. I said, hey, man, when you're out there, are you thinking about the points? Because if you leave on this break for Easter, if Davey wins, you're 6 points behind. If you win, you're 12 up going into Houston and
right,
going into the break. So a huge win for him. But, Davey's back. Davey's happy. He's getting a weekend off, and he's going to be ready in Houston.
Yeah, it seemed like a good ride for Davey. Talk about a mental statement or a statement ride. Davey Millsaps came back, and he did not give away that lead easily and tried to power back. It looked like perhaps the lack of riding, a little bit of dinged up, caught up with him towards the middle of that race.
Well, and I think that's what he alluded to when I was talking to him in the interview, that he's glad he's got a weekend off, and he's going to be healthy. He's going to be 100% coming into Houston. And he says, hey, I'm only down 12 and there's 5 to go and anything can happen. Look what happened to in Seattle last year with Ryan Villopoto. Even though he wrapped up the championship, we still got 5 more starts. Anything can happen. But how about Dungey? Another third on the podium, but I talked to him. He stalled it in the sand.
I wonder if he stalled and then hit the electric start to start it back up.
Electric start. Unfortunately, couldn't do the triple after that because he doesn't have the power. Reed gets by him, but what a great ride for Chad Reed to finish up in that 4th. And it's just one of those things that who knows what the big announcement is, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll wait and see on Monday. Justin Barcia in 5th, so another decent ride for the rookie. I think not what he wants, but probably about where he belongs as a rookie.
Well, and that was a good ride for him, but he got a gift from James Stewart. What I mean by that is James Stewart stalled that Suzuki again.
Yeah, he went back a few spots.
In another turn, he had to reach up. He had to, find the clutch, find neutral, fire it up a couple times, get it back going. But a couple guys got around him, but James Stewart stalls it again. So hopefully, he can get that fixed on the break.
So a lot to think about for those riders over the break. In the 250 class, it was once again Marvin Musquin. That's now 3 in a row, his first 3 victories of his career. He's on a roll, and he's riding well despite an early practice crash. Came back and rode hard that entire main. I mean, he really took control.
Yeah, you know what I think he's most happy with? He got the $1,000 from Nuclear Cowboys because he says, I didn't get it at Daytona because they don't do it. Last week in Indianapolis, I was dead last, so I didn't get it. But you know what? A great ride for Marvin Musquin. He's got the momentum now, and you can't feel bad for Will Hahn. I mean, Will Hahn just lost 3 points by finishing up 2nd. But here's the thing about it: Will Hahn's never been in a championship fight before. Marvin Musquin has. He's got a little bit of an edge in that department, and that weekend off, Will Hahn's going to do a lot of soul searching. He says, you know what, I got to get those starts. I got to put myself in the position to battle with Marvin, and we could see it going down to Las Vegas tied. It feasibly could happen.
Yeah, if the next 2 races go 1-2 the way they did here tonight, we would be in a tied situation heading into Las Vegas. Now in that 3rd spot, Blake Wharton, who came out and rode hard again. It didn't seem that there were any ill effects from last week and throwing it away on that last lap. When you talked to him, did you feel like that had been left in the past?
Yeah, it's gone. He's moved away from that, like we had talked about on Supercross Live. He went out in the woods and made a fire, and it's gone. It's in the past. He said he tightened up a little bit out there, and he's got to work on starts. He says, I got to put myself in good positions up front. I can't let Marvin and all those guys get up there. At one point, we were watching and it looked like he was catching Marvin, but then he started to tighten up, because that's the reason why I asked him. He wasn't doing that timing section in the back where they were going triple.
And then Jeremy Martin started to put a little pressure on him, so the rookie continues to have some great rides. It looked like Martin might be in store with his second podium. Then he fell back just a bit. I think, was that Wharton picking it back up, or was that Martin making mistakes?
I think it was a little bit of Martin making some rookie mistakes and Wharton picking it back up. But how about that finish with Freeze and Cole Thompson, the Canadian?
Pride of Canada.
Yeah, the Canadian crowd really got excited on that. I mean, these guys battled all the way across the finish line, crashed on the backside of it, but they were okay.
Yeah, word is Cole Thompson actually slides into 6th, having been docked 1 position, so that would put Vince Freeze up into 5th. Been a great night here in Toronto. We're going to get a week off, and hopefully you take a week off for Easter to spend it with the family. We look forward to joining you from Houston, where we'll continue these points chases, so it's 12 points in the 450s and 6 points in the 250s. He's Jim. I'm Kevin. See you in 2 weeks.